Hi guys, it's Emily Games here, and today we're going to be talking about how to get pelts the most efficient way. In this video, we're going to be covering the armor sets, the tools you should use, and what you should be spending your pelts on, and how much pelts I have spent. I will also show you what I have accomplished with pelts and my minion setup as proof that this method is pretty efficient, but you also have to keep in mind you will be spending many hours, especially if you want to get the 30th minion slot, grinding pelts. So that's going to be difficult no matter what, but it's my job to make it as efficient as possible. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to hit a like, but if you don't, you can leave a dislike, I guess, but please leave a like and subscribe. This is Terry's shop, and this is the one thing pelts can be spent on. So each minion, you could upgrade a tier 11 to a tier 12, so each type of farming minion you can upgrade. Now, despite me literally grinding so many pelts, I don't have any other minion except for the melon minion. So it costs 32 melon blocks and a melon minion tier 11 to get this, so I'm gonna buy it. Okay, boom, now I have another tier 12 melon minion. In terms of armor sets, I would recommend Wise Crystal Armor. So that's Crystal Armor refers to Wise, and Wise is the best in terms of intelligence, and Crystal Armor already gives a ton of intelligence. How it works is depending on the amount of sunlight your armor is getting, you will get more mana. So right now I'm in the sun and I have 2,100 mana, while when I go inside into the darkness, I only have 1,400 about, which just shows that being in more light is better. But overall, it just gives a ton of intelligence, and it's very good for earlier players, especially if you don't want to buy storm armor, which I don't even have yet, so we're not even going to consider that. But storm is also very good for mana. In terms of pets, there's not much you could really do. I'd recommend just not having a pet, but if you do have a level 100 sheep, that is definitely a great pet, because ability damage 20% plus and intelligence 200 plus. And the reason you're going to need a lot of intelligence from the armor set and the pets is because you're going to be wanting to use an aspect of the end. Now, of course, there's a new item that came out with the Ender Slayer update, which is like a better aspect of the end. It's cheaper and stuff. Well, it's cheaper in terms of mana, but it is actually a bit more expensive than the actual aspect of the end. And I really believe that most players are going to use the aspect of the end, and there's really no need to get a cheaper version for less mana cost. So what I do is when I'm hunting for the pelts, I kind of just teleport around really fast, and I barely lose any mana. If you want to make crystal armor, it's crafted with crystal fragments. That's how you make the helmet. You make the chest plate like a chest plate, then you do the same with the pants, and you do the same with the boots. I would recommend just buying used crystal armor off the auction house, because crafting it yourself could actually cost you a lot more, because like the crystal fragments have much better uses than crystal armor. So you could actually get crystal armor for cheaper than the fragments cost on the auction house. So you're going to want to just buy it from there instead of crafting it yourself if you want to get it. Skills don't really help very much with intelligence, but you can upgrade your alchemy and enchanting. I have maxed out enchanting, and each enchanting gives me, well, they're different for each one, but I get a ton of intelligence from enchanting, and I also get a ton from alchemy, which I will max out soon. So in terms of weapons I use to kill the sheep and mobs that spawn from the hunter guy, I use the epic dreadlord sword or the Jerry Sheen gun. Now, of course, the Jerry Sheen gun very got nerfed, and it's so terrible. Like, I don't know why anyone would want this, but I actually prefer the dreadlord sword because it costs less mana and it's just a bit more accurate. Like, I like this a bit more than that. I click on the Trevor the Trapper, and he gives me an option to start a task, and I click yes. Untrackable overgrown mushroom cave. So here's where I go for the overgrown mushroom cave. I go over here, straight down here, I jump down here, teleport once there, wait to fall a bit more, do a bit of teleporting there, then I do this, run up here. Usually I'm a bit faster than this. You have to pay attention. Yeah, see, he's up there right now. So I'm going to use my dreadlord sword to just shoot him down, because I don't want any of its abilities to be working on me. A lot easier to kill it from a distance. And I just got 2 pelts. Teleport up outwards, then teleport back inwards towards the area, and usually I'm just barely out of mana when I get around to this place. Okay, so this is the animal abilities page. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. There's trackable, untrackable, undetected, endangered, and elusive. Now, elusive is super rare. I've probably only seen 3 in like the 10 hours I've probably done this for, and it's really nice to get an elusive animal. So you get 1 pelt from the trackable animals, you get 2 from untrackable, 4 from undetected, 8 from endangered, and 16 from elusive, which means it doubles every time you go up. There's 5 different types of mobs, and it doesn't really matter. The cow camouflages when you get close to it, but it tells you when it gets camouflaged, so you basically know where it is. The pig emits nauseousness, which can be easily avoided if you shoot it from a distance using a magic item. And then the sheep rams you away, which is really annoying, especially when you're trying to get them out, when you're trying to find them on the mountain, because they can shoot you from other side of the mountain. It's kind of annoying. And then there's the rabbit, which is small and kind of hard to see, but doesn't really have good abilities. And the chicken does nothing, it just flails around. So the best combination you could really get would be the chicken and the elusive animal, because that's the easiest and the most rewarding. You don't have to watch this part of the video, but I am going to show you all the different places you can go and the ways I go to them. So if I want to go to the Mushroom Gorge, I usually go down here, check this area out, check that area out, and then I'll quickly, and then I'll run along this, teleport down over here. Okay, so when I started this, I did not really check this place nearly as often as I usually do, but over here is where a lot of the Mushroom Gorge animals are. So over here still counts as the Mushroom Gorge for some reason, and a ton of the mobs will end up being here. So this is usually one of the first spots I check, because usually when I enter this area right here, he's like the mob standing right over there, so that just makes it a lot easier in the Mushroom Gorge. So I go over here, this is the glowing mushroom cage. This is the glowing mushroom area. It's pretty self-explanatory, it's glowing. You can go that way or that way. It doesn't extend that very long, so it's very easy to find animals here. I already showed you guys the overgrown mushroom cave, but it is overgrown and it ends pretty quickly, so it should be pretty easy. But you have to be aware that the mobs do spawn on the walls sometimes. So the other spot is the mountains. It's pretty self-explanatory. Usually I just jump to the middle mountain and then go from that mountain and look like this. So what I do when I do this is I can see the name tags through the walls, and I'll just do that on each mountain until I find it, because usually the name tags do pop out enough to say. So here's actually a tip that I learned, that every once in a while a mob will actually be at this little hut on the top of the mountain. So if a mob is ever anywhere close to Jake's hut, it'll actually say it on that little sidebar right there. So you want to pay attention to that, because eventually you'll probably find a mob there. The next spot is the oasis. Now this place is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a huge oasis, and there's no secret areas really. But what is very annoying is the mobs will actually get in the tops of trees, and I just won't find them. Like sometimes, like when there's a bunny just like lodged in a tree where I can't see it. It's just the most annoying thing ever. Okay, so when it says mob spawn in the mushroom desert, that actually doesn't mean anything. It cannot possibly spawn in this desert area. Whenever it says mushroom desert, it actually means that it's going to be on the mountains. Now I don't know why it does that, why it doesn't just say like the mushroom mountains, but for some reason it never spawns over on the actual sand when it comes to the desert. Okay, so when I have to go to the desert settlement, usually what I do is I'll run right over here and then teleport a bunch in between these two mountains, and then just teleport my way down this way. And I'll land, and he'll be usually somewhere over by these houses. So he'll be over there sometimes, he'll be over here, sometimes in these houses on tops of the roof. I find him a lot over here for some reason, but I guess that's just luck. Okay, I just showed you the places to go and what to use and what to wear, but now it's finally time to show you how I have used this to my advantage. Bro, the New Year's guy's giving out cake. What a loser. Does he not know what the real cake is? Someone please help. I am losing my mind. Okay, so I have a maxed out tier 12 melon minion setup. Now I think I already made a video about how this is super better than snow minions and stuff, I think. I've been letting these run for a long time. Look at this. I got diamond spreading, super compactor, and plasma buckets. This is literally becoming the max farming minion setup ever. And I might even get ranked globally for melons, because most of the YouTubers that pay tons of money to get the melon minions don't even care enough to grind the pelts, which I have cared enough to do. And it is a significant difference. So not only do I have a beacon over there for the 10% buff, we also have a farming crystal, which is in perfect range to give all the minions on 3 layers of this 10% faster speed. And we also have plasma buckets, Okay, so we're gonna go down the staircase to my second floor, and we're going to place this melon minion with these other guys. So what I do is I give him the large storage, put a super compactor on, plasma bucket, budget hopper, and diamond spreading. There we go. I then get my magical water bucket, and under the minion I place a water. So I've been doing that for every minion, and as you can see, they've been making tons of profits for me, and this is a pretty cool area made down here. So I have 23 melon minions that are tier 12, which means if I do 23 times 75, I can find out exactly how many pelts I have grinded out on this profile. Okay, I have grinded 1,725 pelts in total on this profile, which is crazy. Like, the fact that I still have to keep going to fill out these minion slots over here to get maxed out farming setup, but that's going to be worth it though, because I will get farming 60 from this, and I already have all the magma buckets I have. So once I actually get maxed out melon minions, just completely, like 29 of them, maybe even 30 of them if I have enough money, I will actually be making a video on that where I go over everything I did. Hopefully that video was helpful to you, covering the glitches and what armor you should be wearing to do this, especially if you're going to grind it. If you want to grind it, I'd recommend grinding it for maxed out melon minions, or just so you can easily get the 30th minion slot. I'm planning on making a lot of Skyblock videos this summer, so if you're actually fortunate enough to see this video, please consider subscribing, because I will be making a ton of videos like this, and hopefully I can hit farming 60 within that time.